Hey y'all, this is Colby R. Rice back again with another creative journal update. I have determined to myself that this will be like the last journal that I actually record with me just like in my PJs. Let me actually fix these glasses because they're like sounding looking kind of crazy right now. Okay, they're just like levitating off of my face. It's kind of ridiculous. Anyway, so when I last talked to you guys, it was, January 2nd, like the day after New Year's, and I was pretty much trying my best to hit the ground running as much as possible with my creative goals, which, if you guys are wondering what those are, just check out the last couple of videos. I pretty much listed out everything I want to get done as a novelist and as a screenwriter and filmmaker this year. So check that out if you care. You don't have to care. I care, but that's okay. And what I found is what I usually find every year, which is that I hit the ground running slash stumbling slash starting off slow and gaining momentum. And I think a lot of you guys can really relate to that sort of trajectory because at the beginning of the year, a lot of times we are preparing to launch a bunch of things throughout the year, or we're kind of gathering our materials, gathering our strength, gathering our friends, gathering our resources. So I actually have found for about the past 2 years that, you know, I generally tend to spend like at least the first 2 weeks, if not the entire month of January, doing my creative stuff and working towards my goals, but mostly preparing and sort of getting everything together. So I really tend to take off around the end of January, 1st of February. But yet and still, I still was able to get certain things done. So I'm just here to report on that really quickly. I am definitely making good on my promise to connect more with my readers and with my audience. As you guys know from my last journal entry, my last few actually, I've been sort of fighting through this creative isolation, and I am determined to make myself less isolated as a creator, as a novelist, as a filmmaker. So I have started just connecting more with my readers. I sent out my first Happy New Year's email to my current subscriber base, also encouraging current subscribers who are no longer interested in hearing from me, encouraging them to unsubscribe from my channel, sorry, not my channel, from my email list, so that they're not getting material and they're not getting updates that they're not interested in. That's one. I also kicked it off with an amazing giveaway, which includes me giving away 3 Kindle Fires, okay, one $25 Amazon gift card, and a starter library of sci-fi, fantasy, and horror novels, which I had on deck. Pretty much, I've had on deck for a while for a giveaway. I just haven't been able to actually give it away to enough people. So I'm launching that again as sort of like a Happy New Year's. Thank you for being on my list. And because they were on my list, they got sort of first dibs in terms of getting a head start on getting in the giveaway and getting as many entries as possible. For anybody who's not on my list, and that includes people who are probably watching this channel or just might come across my giveaway, you guys can still enter. You guys are still eligible to win. And I will include the link to the giveaway below. And it's a really awesome giveaway. I mean, they're going to be 4 winners. There's a grand prize, first prize, second prize, and third prize winner and place and prize. There's prizes, 4 different kinds of prizes. But everybody who actually enters the giveaway will also get a prize, which I'll announce later. So everybody's a winner. It's just that some people will get the Kindle Fires plus all the other stuff, and others will get just 1 or 2 prizes. But everybody who gets into this giveaway will get a free gift from me. So it behooves you, if you're looking at this, to sign up to that giveaway as soon as you can, again, by clicking the link below, okay? So again, this is me kind of reaching out, goodwill, just spreading the happy around, and just, not only building my subscriber base, building my community, but just being thankful and showing gratitude to the people who have stuck around with me. My subscriber list is not as big as most authors, but it is over 300 people right now, which is pretty amazing for me, who has not been advertising her novels or even producing her fiction work on a regular basis. And this is just these are just people who have, over the past 3 years, have been interested in my work, have supported my work, have opted into my list, and are pretty much like, I wouldn't say waiting with bated breath, but they're interested in getting, future work from me. And that's always very humbling. So that's just me showing my gratitude to everyone who is on my list and to you guys, because I notice a few of you are showing up for these creative journal updates. And so I really appreciate that. That's really awesome. So check that out. So I've made pretty good progress on that so far. I'm trying to do a weekly, or at least send out a newsletter to my readers at least every 2 weeks, with not just updates on myself, but more importantly, where they can find other amazing work and films and novels by sci-fi, fantasy, and horror creators. So that's sort of, again, me fostering goodwill, not just between me and my readers, but between me and my author community, because we're all in this together. And also, I read other people's work, and their work is pretty amazing. So I want to share that with other people. I have also commissioned the next 5 books, or not books, the next 5 book covers for the Hitmen of Happily Ever After series, and I am so excited. Now, I mean, again, I'm still working on the series as a whole, but it's really empowering to basically see a part of that finished product in front of you, and it gives you a lot of motivation to just keep writing so that you can put words and pages behind that amazing cover. And my cover artist, his name is Steven Novak. If you're interested, I'll put his contact information below, because he is amazing. He is the one who designed the Rose and John Doe's cover, and also the Loosey Goosey cover for the first 2 novels of that series. And so he's going to be working on the next 5 covers, which, according to my very ambitious creative goals, I hope to be able to get most of those books out this year. But we'll see. But he did that, and that's pretty amazing. I also did some world building, not just for that series, but also for the books of Ezekiel, and for what I call rice realms, because all of my novels and my franchises and my series pretty much exist in the same universe, but they are on a particular timeline. So there's I love this. This is what I love about being an author and like a creator. In Rice Realms, where my novels exist, there's the Age of Alchemy. And so that obviously encompasses the books of Ezekiel, other series that are a spinoff of the books of Ezekiel, like the books of Rai, the books of Koch, the books of Solus. And, you guys will get to know what those series are as you continue with me on this journey. But there's the Age of Alchemy. Then there's the Age of Gods, I believe. I forget what I called it. The Age of God, the Age of Gods. There's the Age of Fables and Legends, and then there's the Age of Steel and Sense. There's a whole bunch of different ages, and they all exist on an interesting sort of continuum and timeline, basically, that chronicles the development and the evolution of this entire universe that I'm creating, basically on the backs of my novels and my novel series. So as Rice Realms gets more defined and bigger, we'll talk more about that. But that's a brief introduction as to what I've been doing on like a larger universal scale, world building, basically a universe, but also world building based on my novel series, the books of Ezekiel, the Hitmen of Happily Ever After, etc. A lot of other like managerial kind of administrative boring stuff, in terms of like I had to do a whole like facelift off of the behind the scenes technical stuff that powers my list building. If you guys are interested in learning how to build subscriber lists and managing lists, and what kind of programs you can use to basically build a subscriber base so that you can form that personal connection, but also sell your books directly to your readers. I will have courses on that probably in the next couple of years or so, because I'm just not there yet, because I'm just learning this. But at the Bohemian Badass, which is my creative training and education arm of my Fempire, we will talk more about things like SEO, building subscriber bases and stuff like that. And I just had to do a lot of administrative, technical, boring crap where like importing and exporting lists is concerned. But it is important. It's not the most exciting part about being an independent author, entrepreneur, and an independent filmmaker, but it is one of the more important aspects. on the business side. If you want to try to create some sort of steady income or build a sustainable career, or even just even if you have a full-time job, just to be able to effectively manage your fans and your subscribers and be able to communicate with them, you need to understand how to use a subscriber list and the software and the interfaces that are out there for you. So just keep that in mind. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a very technical update way down the line in the future. Still working on the Inkling piece for the MLK Day celebration on January 16th, which is a Monday. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, the holiday is on the Monday. The actual performance is on Sunday, January 15th at the University of Arizona. So if you're like here locally in town, please come out and check us out, because it's not just me and my team, but the entire sort of crew and cast and like all the creative and technical people who are behind this event are really working hard to put on an amazing event that celebrates the power and resilience of the civil rights movement and of Martin Luther King Jr. and his constituents and allies. So still working on that segment. We have a rehearsal coming up next week, which I'm excited about. Rehearsal, tech rehearsal, and then like the dress rehearsal and performance. So we're really excited about that. And I've just been working on like a lot of the administrative, sort of assistant director, managerial parts of it, getting stuff together. So that's exciting, always exciting. I actually sat another master class, surprisingly, and this is again Joanna Penn, because she's like amazing, and I emulate a lot of what I do off of what she has done and is successful for her. So she was holding a class called Plan and Achieve Your Creative Goals in 2017. And generally, as I told you guys before, I don't necessarily feel as though I need too much help with being OCD on my planning. If you look at like my creative plan for the next 3 years, and my production schedule and my writing calendar and all these different calendars and like boards and to-do lists, like I'm organized out the wazoo. For me, it's about just having the time to execute. So yet and still, I found this master class. She called it a webinar. I call it a master class because she's a master and she knows what she's talking about. I found the webinar itself to be very, very informative, and she is now showing the replay of that, and it's all free, absolutely free, on her email list, but she's also on YouTube. So just Google The Creative Pen and go to YouTube, and you'll find that her latest video was this masterclass. So just check it out. And she said some really insightful and helpful things that will help you get your ducks in a row for 2017 and really make it pop. And, yeah. So I also wrote, as I promised. I was trying to be as consistent as possible in my writing for the Iron Maiden, and then for the next book in the Books of Ezekiel series called Blood and Ink. That again has gotten off a little bit slowly because again this first week was kind of like it was filled with like a lot of static. I don't know how to describe it, but it was kind of staticky. But I was still pushing through with my progress. Let's see, is there anything else that I did that was worth noting? There is a class that I do want to give on organizing, sort of like Joanna Penn's class, but more of like a step-by-step tutorial as to like literally how to put together a production schedule, how to create an editorial calendar on Google Drive's calendar function, how to use Trello, and how to integrate all those things together so that basically you have an automated system working on your behalf to like show you pop-ups as to when something is due, what steps you need to take to get to that final product, and how to sort of organize your time each day. I want to put together a class. It'll probably be somewhere in the second half of the year, more towards when people are slowing down and looking towards 2018. But that's something to look out for, because I think it's important, especially for those of us who are juggling multiple projects and responsibilities, right? So And let's see, pretty much all day yesterday. Yes, I'm recording this today, Saturday, January 7th. Pretty much all day yesterday, Friday, January 6th, me and my daughter were traveling, basically getting from New York all the way back to Tucson. And it was a challenge, as traveling with the toddler always is, but we made it. But even though we were spending most of the day traveling, I still was able to do a whole bunch of really awesome stuff. Like, I finally narrowed down the list of exactly what I want to buy in terms of filmmaking equipment and materials. And I'm actually just holding that in my account, my Amazon account, because I'm waiting for all of the computer and electronic and camera stuff to go on sale in February. So I know exactly what I want to buy, but I'm waiting for the products to drop price over the course of this month and at the beginning of next month. Because apparently January and February are the best times to buy that kind of stuff, and I'm just waiting so I can save, a good $200 to $500. Because who doesn't want to save money? So that's exciting though, because I'm on like literally the verge of getting the materials that I need to start doing my own shoots and learning how to shoot films, and just it's just really exciting. I'm just excited about it. And I also finished a lot of just administrative production schedule stuff. I created a production schedule template for Rebel Ragdoll as an overall brand, and that includes a production schedule for Rebel Ragdoll Press, Rebel Ragdoll Productions, and The Bohemian Badass, all of which are the subsidiaries of the Rebel Ragdoll brand. I'm really proud of myself the way I was able to put this together, because I not only break the production schedule down by month and list out areas where you can have monthly goals, excuse me, but I also have it broken down into weeks so that each week I can type in what the goal is for that week or what I need to get done for that week. And each week is going to be working toward that monthly goal. So that's, for me, it's really exciting because I can look at one particular goal, and then break it down into smaller goals and basically hold myself accountable for those goals each week. And just the way it's set up is like really easy to use and really sexy. So I'm like really excited about that. So once I start giving my seminar on organization and basically like planning and executing, I'm going to include that production schedule template in there absolutely free for you guys, because why should you have to reinvent the wheel and do what I did when I can just give you what I did? So that's exciting. And I've actually not just created that template, but I filled it in pretty much so I know what I'm doing for the publishing part, which is the novel writing and the publishing, the production part, which is the writing, planning, and shooting my first film, and the Bohemian Badass part, which is the blogging, the podcasting, and the course creation aspect of what I would like to do as a creative. And that is supposed to help out people like you guys who are looking for support, materials, templates, and basically like craft sessions to help you push your projects forward. So that's really exciting. And I updated, not just my production schedule, but also uh, I created a really intense, insane editorial calendar between all three of my brands. And that includes my author brand and my Bohemian Badass brand in terms of blogging and content creation. So that took a while, but now I have everything automatically, basically automated, excuse me, in my Google Calendar, so that when it's time to put up a blog post, my phone pops it up for me, and I can check it off on a things to do list, which is really awesome. So I did that, and I also organized my Trello board so that for each of the bigger projects that I want to do, mainly for the Bohemian Badass, I have a very comprehensive itemized list of things that I need to do for each, like basically each stage of that project. So what I'm working on now is, now that I have the Trello boards done, for organization, and the editorial calendar for the reminders of when to post. And now that I also have the production schedule, which lists out my goals and my weekly breakdown of those goals. I'm going to try to find a way next week to integrate all three in a system that makes basically being like a hardcore badass creator who creates content at a high level makes that system easy, or easier, because it's not an easy system, but understanding what you need to do on a day-to-day basis doesn't need to be difficult. It just needs to be well thought out. So we'll see what happens. I mean, they say that we make plans and God laughs, and you know, so I'm doing the best that I can to basically maximize my productivity this year. So we'll see what happens. But that's basically the update. So I've mentioned the Be Badass podcast a lot for the past couple of journal entries. And yes, that is still underway. I actually just submitted the link and the RSS feed to iTunes, Stitcher, Android/Google Play, and I also have an RSS feed that you can link directly into. But basically, I'm just waiting for all of those different retailers to validate my podcast feed so that they can finally publish it and you guys can subscribe to it. So it doesn't really matter what platform you prefer to use, it's going to be available to everyone. So the Be Badass podcast link will be up very soon, probably over the next couple of journal entries. So stay tuned for that, because I know that there was at least one person asking me where the link was to subscribe to the podcast. So that is coming, okay? But in the meantime, just to remind you guys, don't forget to sign up for the amazing 3 Kindle Fire giveaway, plus $25 gift card, plus free awesome ebooks. So, and everybody is a winner, whether you win grand prize or you have a consolation prize, everybody gets a prize. So there's no risk in you basically signing up to this at all. And so just make sure you do that. And I will see you guys in the next episode. The next episode will be talking about my projects in much more depth, just in general, but also specifically for this year. I'll be introducing you guys more intimately to The Bohemian Badass, for one, my novel series that I'm working on, some select novel series, but putting a special focus on the books of Ezekiel and the Hitmen of Happily Ever After, because those are what I'm working on this year. And also introducing you to my first film project more intimately, which is called Sandman. So I'm really excited about that. I'm in the process of creating the concept, doing the research, and actually fleshing out the outline for the actual horror movie itself. And so I'm really excited about that. So we'll be doing an introduction. Oh, also, you'll also be getting introduced to the Transcendent Trilogies project. So the next installment, the next journal, is going to be a little long, but this is basically going to give you an overview of what I'm doing in my creative life and basically what I'm trying to make happen, not just for my own legacy, but like for the world. So, and hopefully actually with the introduction of my creative projects, I'll also introduce my hair and like me not being in pajamas. Like that's going to be like a thing that I'm trying to do. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, keep it indie, stay badass, keep writing, keep creating. I don't care what you do, just keep creating. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. Enter the giveaway. Bye.